בסוף לא יגיע גם לילדים שלי.
Hello everyone, my name is Benjamin and I'm here with Ivy, my partner. We are from Filmapia and we provide locations and line production services for film shoots in India. Today we are talking with two core crew members from Netflix's latest sensation, the Israeli hit web series, the season 3 of the Israeli hit web series Fauda. We have got which fabulously captures the emotions, the drama, the tensions, and the action of humans in battle. At the end of the day, it's a human story. So today we have with us Shimrit, Yekutieli, and Amir, who have been involved in the production and who also provided locations for this hit web series Fauda. So let's go talk to them. Hi.
Hi, hello.
Hey.
All the way from Israel, Tel Aviv, and nearby. Thank you, Shimrit and Amir, for joining us. It's our pleasure to talk to you today after we witnessed such a fantastic production like Fauda. We know that you guys are the heavyweights behind that production called Fauda. Amir, a few questions. You were the location manager for season 3.
Yes.
A few questions. I mean, we have seen all the seasons, and then just a few questions. How?
Yeah, we finished it in 2 nights.
Yeah, I know, binge watching.
Of course.
We know that you shot most of the production was based in a tiny Arab village called Kafr Qasim. It's a hilltop village. It was the primary shooting town, an Israeli town deep inside Palestinian land. Now, how did you choose this place? What were you looking for?
First of all, Kfar Qasim, or Kufr Qasim, is actually located inside Israel. We have a lot of Arab villages here. The reason we chose Kufr Qasim, it's located in the center of Israel, where our main industry sits, and as a production with a lot of taxis and a lot of things having to be delivered back and forth, we always try and be as close as we can to the production, let's say, borders that we made. In some different occasions, of course, we go much farther, but that's only when there's something which is good enough to go all the way to.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, geographic location. The village itself, the people are really welcoming, and they like the series. They have their issues and it's complicated, but I think most of them do like the series, and they welcomed us really nice. We found a lot of nice spots. We tried a few villages, and when doing the rekas, we found really nice spots, and we chose it by director's choice in the first priority, director and DOP.
Okay. So you chose Kafr Qasim. Sorry, am I getting the name right?
Kufr Qasim.
Yeah. Yeah,
but Kfar Qasim, it's in Hebrew. So,
okay, Kfar Qasim. Did it now? How an Arab village looks to the series supposedly was shot in the West Bank, right? In season 1 and 2 and season 3 in Gaza. So did Kfar Qasim have that look of an Arab village?
It is one, so it has its looks.
Yes.
Arab village is a lot of different, different things. As Indian cities can be really different, so as Arab cities. Kufr Qasim was really nice, and we did a lot in it. But I think that out of 69 days of shooting in total, we were there for somewhere about 14 or 15 days, which is a lot, but we did spend a lot of time in a lot of other villages as well.
Okay, nearby villages like Tira and Fars.
Not Tira, but when we wanted to shoot some place that would look like Gaza's border with the sea, we chose the only Arab city that sits on the beach in Israel, so which is not Gaza. So that was our choice for doing that scene.
So how did you guys end up being associated with this series? Both you and Amir and Shimrit. How did you guys end up in this series?
I worked for the company before that, and then she asked me to produce the second season. And then, like, in Israel, we have a big industry, and like everybody, we are freelance, so we are looking for another production company. So I worked for the first season as a small part of the production, and then like I start to produce it.
Okay. What was a small production? Can you share? Like, what were you doing in the first season?
I was the office manager of the production company, and then it took like I start from the bottom and then I go up. Yeah, so Liat Ben Asuli, which is the producer and she's the owner of the company, I worked for her, and she took me to produce the second season. So yeah.
So that's an interesting story in itself. Like,
yeah,
very good. What about Amir?
Yeah, thank you.
What about you, Amir? How did you come into this project?
As for myself, I'm a location manager for the last 6 or 7 years in the Israeli industry. And most of my work is doing commercials and small or big 1-day shoot or 2-day at the maximum. A few years ago, I watched season 2 with my wife. And at the end of the last chapter, I said it's my dream to work for this project, and I wish I could do something as big, as meaningful as this. Right. And somehow through friends and people we know, I got to Shimrit and to Rotem Shamir, the director, and I got the job and did it with full respect and fun. And with all difficulties, I really enjoyed every part of it.
Well, good job, both of you. Good job.
Excellent. Yeah. Considering this is an Israeli web series, and you were shooting, but we've heard from you also, Amir, that the people were very nice in these villages, these Arab villages. Was there any hesitation at all? You were shooting an Israeli web series in somewhere near Arab households. So was there any resistance, any hesitation initially?
Yeah. The reason that we choose Kfar Kasem, except of this, it's in the middle of Israel, so it's easy to go. There is like the conflict between Israel and Palestine. It's very happening in the Israeli villages of the Arabs. So we try to shoot in another villages, and there is a problem. Sometimes there is a problem between the people there. So we didn't want to go for a village. There is murders and I don't know, like all the day they are fighting. So we try to find some village which is nice and the people like Israel, like not a place that they are very like don't like Israel and trying to all the time, like they wish they live in Palestine. I believe that they wish, all of them, they wish that they have a country, them country. But Kfar Kasem, it's a place like very relaxing and they don't feel like the conflict all the time. So for this season, we try to shoot in another villages. And then the Muslim, Amir, תעזור לי, התנועה האסלאמית.
Brotherhood.
The Muslim leadership, the Muslim leadership, I don't know how to say it in English, the Muslim leadership, they they try to write on Facebook, on another social media, don't let Fauda shoot in the name of the village, don't let them in, like we are resistant to this. So we have problems, but in the places that we start to shoot, we will not feel it. Or we feel it like less.
Politics situation in Israel and Palestine is, of course, very complicated. The story itself goes really deep into some small parts of it. It's not the conflict itself, of course. This is really a small story from Leo and Avi's minds. And I think we tried as much as we can to avoid political situations that will make us or the people that are hosting us uncomfortable. And I think without having touched to Fauda, I mean, without talking about Fauda, making a movie in a location and shooting and making noise and doing some crazy stuff, or just shooting a movie is not always easy. And neighbors don't always like it. And especially when you do something which is complicated.
Correct. Actually, that's one thing we really appreciate, because as it's one of the most complicated scenes in the world, that particular zone, and Fauda to execute or to plan a story and execute a story like this without antagonizing either party is quite an achievement. Really impressive.
It's the achievement of Fauda. It's the achievement of Fauda that is one of the only places that can tell the story, and you can hear both sides pretty equally. Right. And some will say it's for this side, and some will say it's for this side. And I think that's the beauty of it. Sorry, Shimrit, for interrupting.
No, this is a story. The story is about people and not about the conflict, about their country. It's about people that suffering from this situation and like they're trying to live them life without any like issues.
Correct.
Right. So before the shoot, did you have to inform the entire residents? Because you shot everywhere, especially on the roads, houses, everywhere in these towns. So did you have to send out an official order to inform the residents beforehand that you're going to be doing shootings, you're going to be blocking roads? Did you have to do any of that?
No, but we need insurance from the army. Like the army thing in Fauda, especially in the third season, like very big. We shoot in a army areas, and we shoot the tunnels. It's on the army side, and not all Gaza, but the most. The biggest part of Gaza, it's in army side. So like we're trying to we need insurance, and we need the areas to shoot in bases. So we shoot in army sites and army bases. So this one the biggest like residents involved.
Right. Yes, I think it was called. Can't pronounce it. I'm so sorry.
Urban Warfare Training Center.
Telling. Okay.
What? Telling. Yes.
Telling. Yes. Right.
Telling. Yes. Telling. It's an army base, which is the army is practice there, like the practice for a war if it happen in Gaza. Because Gaza, I don't know if the people know, but it's it's the most crowded place all over the world. Like it's a very small city with a lot of people. Yeah. So it's the crowded place in the world. So we're trying to find a place which is look like Gaza, which is a city. And in Israel, there is Arab cities in Israel, but they are not that crowded. And the thing is, all the cities in Israel, they are on the mountains, and Gaza, she's flat, and it's on the beach. So we need to find a place flat, and in all the Arab cities in Israel, all the signs is in Hebrew and not in Arabic, and the cars, they are Israeli cars. So we need to find a place which we can take it like studios, like a site for shooting. So we took Tzelim, which is a base for the army that they practice on a war if it's happening in Gaza. They're trying to practice a war in a city, in a crowded city.
It's a model.
We took that base, so we took that base and we make it look like a city. So we did it by art, by production, by cars and animals and people, and by art we open shops that nobody buy them ever. It was shops for the art. And then the second part of it was the post-production, which is, there is a lot of things that happen in post. For example, all that base, they don't have windows. They have the opening for the windows, but they don't have windows. So we did a window, and we need to paint all the ground, and we need to bring like a lot of animals. We need to draw on and painting all the walls to make graffiti, because in Gaza there is a lot of graffiti on the walls. So this was the biggest challenge that we have in this season, because there is no Gaza in another place like Gaza. There is only one Gaza in the world. So we need to make it look like a Gaza, and it wasn't that easy. And also we shoot part of Gaza in Kfar Kasem, in Jisr Azarka, in another villages in Israel.
Right.
So, but we need like the opening place that look like Gaza. And this one we did it in an army base, which is called Tzelim.
It looked so authentic, so real. I mean, wonderful job out there. Yeah. You also shot in a lot of other private locations, like homes of people, farmhouses, and restaurants, cafes, and a bar, a nightclub. So any experiences to share about these private locations that you shot in?
Of course. It's 3 months of pre-production of scouting locations and doing the tours with Mosh Mishali, the cameraman, the DOP, and Rotem, the director. And these guys together, they know what they need, and when you show them the place, they know if it can work, and they can see the scenes in their mind. So it's really, really nice to see how they do it between themselves. And how they take the location that you brought and make it happen. We have one person missing here in this conversation, which is Muhammad, and he was another crucial part of this season and season number 2. And he's an Israeli Arab, and not me and not Shimrit. We don't speak Arabic good enough or any at all to speak with Arabs or to understand, when you go in complicated situations, you need to understand the language. And this was Muhammad's part, together with a lot of other parts. He was in charge of all technical issues and all camp issues during all locations. And sometimes when shooting in private properties and neighbors, and when you're shooting a lot, and you're shooting inside an Arab village, which sometimes do have their own problems with weapons, and you don't want them to be surprised and think something is happening. So you do try and notify the people, but then again, you don't want crowds to come and see the action. So it's being done in the special way it's being done when you have to do stuff like this. And I think Muhammad was really, really crucial with everything about it while shooting in those areas.
He was also the production manager. He was the production manager, and he's scouting. He was the first that started to work for this season. He scout all the Arabs, not all, but most of the Arabs parts. And then Amir continued from there, and Amir was the production manager, the location manager, and Muhammad was the production manager. So they all the time they worked together, like everybody did his job, but another jobs that you need to because of the situation.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, Amir, if you were to say, I mean, as a location manager, and finally, after all those locations and then the shooting's done, if you were to talk about your most challenging location,
Or memorable.
or good or bad, you know, memorable location, what would it be?
I try and remember only the easy ones, not the bad ones. But yeah, it's really hard to choose one because so many good, but so many difficult experiences as well. And there was one time when we had to do a shooting scene, and a very angry neighbor with his own personal weapon. He just said it's not going
We lost
to have talking and settle down things, and did the scene. But there were a few moments where I really believed that we have to stop, and that's the part where Shimrit and Muhammad and Rotem and all other crew members, they give you the backup that you need, and you do the impossible.
Wow.
This was just one scene. I mean, there were places that were hard to get with equipment, or really hot days, or places that are really, we're shooting and we have 100 sheep growing next to us. So they smell, and you get used to the smell, but the sound is really a problem, and getting those sheep to come down was a problem.
Okay.
What about you, Shimrit? What do you do? Do you have your own favorite experiences, memories?
I'm not sure if it's favorite, but yeah, the place that we shoot for chapter number 3, which is the place that Avichai shooting on an Israeli soldier.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that scene?
Yes.
Yeah. So this place, it's 4 houses of one big family, and the family, they have them issues between of them, and like one member of the family agreed us to shoot there. So we did the rehearsals there, and like it's 2 days. We did it like on 2 units. Like we shoot it 1 unit on the ground and 1 unit on the roofs.
Right.
So they shoot everything together. And we did like 2 rehearsals there with a lot of extras and actors and like a lot of people. And then one day before, some of the people told us, you can't shoot here. And we asked, like, why? We have agreement. Like we did everything. How we should do it? And he said, no, I'm fight with my cousin. You can't shoot here.
Wow.
So I start to cry. And then like I really start to cry because you know, I have a shooting day tomorrow, and I'm in the middle of the shooting day today, and I don't know what to do. And like I told him, I pay you more, I pay you double, I will buy you, but let me shoot. We did a lot of. He said, no, you can't.
Wow.
So we try to do it. Like all the people that we know in Kfar Kasem, with the mayor and like with everybody. Please let us shoot tomorrow. We have to. Like it was one of the biggest day in Fauda for this season. In 11 at the night. I don't know how. Maybe God help us. I believe that God help us. It was a miracle. And then the mayor sent Muhammad a text message, and he told him like, you can come tomorrow.
Wow.
So yeah, and like, you can come tomorrow at 6 in the morning. Yeah, like it was 7 hours after. We need to do the biggest day that it wasn't the biggest, but it was one of the 5 biggest days.
Right.
So after we finished that day, I felt like, oh my God. Yeah. It's very, very hard. Yeah. So it's also happened in Fauda. Like it's happened not once. It's happened like.
Oh.
That's what. Yeah. Sometimes there is differences between the culture of the Jewish and the Arabs. So you need to all the time to steps by the drops and like find the way to do it. not that pushy, but also not that easy.
Right.
So all the time you need to understand how to do it like right and sense, and not to hurt someone.
Correct.
Yeah.
Fauda is being done in a very Israeli way and a very special way for itself in the Israeli industry. And I think the thing that most surprised me is considering to the thing we're doing, it's really low budget. And it's not that we have a lot of money to solve any issues, or we have a lot of money to pay the best locations. And we need to find the way to convince them to let us do the thing and to like it. And it's not only that the money that can help us, because we don't really have all the money that we need in such a production. But I can tell you that even in those nights at 10 p.m. when we don't have a permission to shoot in the location the day before, Shimrit, she never stops, you know? She says until 6 a.m. If the shooting day starts at 6 a.m., at 5:58, she still be making calls and making it happen.
Wow.
Fabulous.
Well, that's a line producer. We understand you, Shireen. We understand the tension and the stress on the sets, and especially such complicated sets, such complicated shootings. Yeah, we know what you're saying. Yeah.
And it's always, in the end, it's always happened. Like, I don't know how, but it's always happened. In the end, it took like, you know, Fauda, I'm always saying that I did it by blood and by sweat. Like, it was so intense, and like everybody worked so hard for make it happen. But in the end, it happened. Like, I don't know how it happened.
Wow.
I think this is how, because each and every one of the crew members is doing the best he can, and when everybody really doing the best he can, and they want to do something special here, it's not just another project, not for me, and I think not for most of the crew members. So you can really see people do the impossible, as I said before, and that's everybody, and that's especially director and DOP, which were in situations that a day before we didn't have a location, and they canceled one location, and I needed to find a new option, and there was no time to go there and to see the place, and they had to trust me and my judgment and the photos that I brought and the videos or whatever they asked for, but they couldn't be there and check it, but they still had to be there at the morning after and do the scenes as they wanted. I'm happy, and it worked all the times, but it was a big risk and really a lot of pressure in those moments.
So that brings a very important question to my mind. You talked about saying that everyone was giving their best. Now, how did this spirit come about? Was it part of the culture, or did someone talk to you about it, saying, because it's very difficult in a film shoot for every single person to be dedicated in 100%, right? For every single person. How did you?
110.
Yeah. So how did you guys manage that? How did it happen for you? 110% for every single person.
I think it's the Israeli culture, like to be dedicated for something. And also I believe and I know that when you do something that it's success, everybody want to be part of it. And when you read the script and you see like it's gonna happen, and the script of Fauda is very, very, very good. Like, even though you see it on the screen, the script is very good, and you feel like you're doing something big and like something success that all the world gonna watch it. So everybody want to do it, and like they want to do it like from the heart. And also I believe like in the third season it become a family. There is people that work from the first season, and it's become family. Like all the actors, not all of them, but most of them, they are kind of a family. And when you do something that you feel like all the other people feel like family, you join the family and do it with them. And you want to do like your best. And also I have to say it's the Avi Saskharov and Lior Raz, which is the creator of Fauda. They are very committed, and they know how to take the people and do it with me. Like in the army, we call it follow me. I don't know how to say it in English. It's not the right translation, but follow me.
Right.
So
Leaders.
Right.
yeah,
Really nice, really good leaders.
yeah, and everybody feel it. Like we're doing the biggest thing the biggest series in Israel. We do it like in the budget of Fauda was so low. It was so low. I can't say the numbers, but I can't say the numbers, but it was so low. For example, the helicopter that we use it, and it's something expensive.
Yeah.
We understood that we don't have the money for paying for the helicopter, which will be on the air. So the thing that we did, it was the DOP Moshe, it was his idea. He said, okay, can we take from the army the helicopter on the ground? And the army said, yes, you can do it. So we went to an army base of the Air Force, and then we shoot the helicopter on the ground.
Okay.
And then we shoot out of the base on the dune, at the places, and there the helicopter is on the background, but it wasn't there like really. And we took like fans and sand, and we to make the feel like the helicopter is really on the air and it just landed. And then in the end of the shooting, Moshe and I went to practice of the Air Force that they just doing landings and yeah, so we shoot the landings. And then Dan Sachar, which is the visual effects supervisor, he edit everything and it's look like the helicopter is on the air and like everything. So we need to think out of the box to find the solutions with a low budget, which is, I think it was the biggest mission that we have on Fauda, because it's look like it's very expensive and the action and everything, but in the end, it's a Israeli production with Israeli budget, not Netflix budget, Israeli budget, which is very small for the script.
Yeah. Great
Wow.
job.
I mean, yes, all that thinking of the box, these make for some excellent memories. I know that. Yeah, it's lovely to hear that. Talking of helicopters and military equipment, we saw so many different types of guns and weapons. And how did you get all that? I mean, you were working with the army's help. I mean, how did that work?
Yeah, in Israel, all of the people, we have to go to the army. So when we are 18, we have to do an army service. So most of the people know about the guns and everything. And also we have like people that help us to understand which gun for which part of the Israeli army and which gun is for the Arabs army. And I have to say that there is a lot of people that always tell us, you can't do this gun with this mission. You need to change it. There are people that really notice and they know that how it should be. So we are very like doing it
Authentic.
Very
very authentic.
As realistic and authentic as it can be. And I think you can also add that we have a few weapon companies that make really nice guns and ammunition and all kinds of crazy stuff here in Israel. And because it's Fauda and because it's so special and because of Lior and Avi, which are special people and have their own connection, those very, very nice companies were doing this collaboration with the production and gave us authentic replicas of the real guns. And I think Pini Cavalier, which was in charge of doing all the explosions and all the shootings, one of the best or the best in Israel for this kind of stuff, did a really special effort and pushed all of his people to get the most special and the right thing for the right scene.
And see, you were doing a lot of action sequences, people falling off, explosions, cars breaking down. There was a lot of action. Did you, as a production unit, have to take any special precautions while you're filming these difficult scenes?
Yes, like not that special. There is a places that we have a police to be with us because we are shooting in the middle of an Arab village and we need like someone to be in charge. Ambulance in a place that like there is explosions or a thing that something can happen for someone. What else? I think that's it. Like most of the things that we do in another places, I don't know how it's work in India, but I know that on the US, it wasn't work like that. Like there is a thing that I'm taking the charge or the director taking the charge and like we can't. In another places, it will never happen. But in Israel, we have like the way like that way. Okay, I will take it on my shoulders. And sometimes that's work, and sometimes for me always that's work. But we're taking like a big, you know, I can't.
It's a big risk. It's a big risk sometimes. It's a big risk and big responsibilities. And me and Shimrit, both of us have been in India. Myself a few times in Shimrit, and I think there is a lot of similarity because I think we're different than Americans or whatever. Indians have theirs and Israelis have their stuff, but we really manage in doing what we need, even without all production money or special gadgets. I think shooting and exploding was another part which Dan Sachar, the VFX manager, was adding a lot into. But I think really amazing scenes of big shooting guns were made out of Rotem and Shimrit responsibility and Liat and everybody who knew what's going on, and the police, which gave us a lot of wind and safety. And I think it was done. I was really surprised, but it was done pretty nicely and without disturbing too much.
I have one example that from the second season. There is the Fauda with the car when Stephen Doron is, I think it's on chapter 8, where they are on I don't remember the name of the village for the story, but they are looking, I think it's on Ramallah, they are looking for someone near the mosque. So there is a car, they are getting in with the car, you remember? With the car. So there, the people understand on the script. The people understand that they are Jewish. They are from the Israeli army, and they're starting the Fauda. Right. So we said action for the actress, for the extras, and then they start to push on the car. And then the AD said cut, and nobody stopped because they are into it. Yeah, the cars was total loss. Yeah, but I felt like in this time, I felt like, oh my God, if something really happened, if someone like didn't understand that we are shooting, if someone from the roofs get into the situation and say like, oh my God, I'm starting shooting, like I want to be involved. So this was, for me, it was the first, and I think like it was the biggest moment that I felt I don't want to be in charge for this, what's happening here. Like, I need a police. I don't want this on my shoulders. Right. And in this place, also Liat Ben-Asuli, which is the producer, she was with me. And she also, we stand there and we look at the car and we can't stop it. Like, it took time to stop it. And also, the actors, they can't stop it because it's mixed with the reality and the shooting, and like it was very, it was moment that it was, we all were shocked. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think only now, about a year after we finished the shooting, I can say I have a very big relief that no one was injured during the shooting. Only now, like a year after, I can even think about it, because it was also a very big thing, working for sometimes 18 or 20 or 22 hours, and then having to send our guys taking the trucks to the next location to park it, and really 69 days of 20 hours a day work. So there's a lot of risks, and now I'm really happy to remember and and think about that no one was injured, and we managed doing it safely.
Wow. How about insurance? I mean, was your shoot insured, considering you did so many action scenes?
Yes, but there is an insurance, but it wasn't like that big. The people that making all the fights, they have them insurance to making fights on shootings. The one that doing the special effects, the shootings, he have his insurance to doing, like, everybody have his insurance. And the production, we have the insurance, but the insurance is like in another, like all the other productions in Israel. It's not something special.
Oh, I see. Okay. Amir, did you actually shoot in a Hamas tunnel?
No.
Of course not.
A no and a
Of
yes.
course not.
No, it's also Israeli. It's also base of the army. The Israeli army built tunnels to practice fighting in Hamas tunnels. So, and the army let us to shoot there. And also all that part of the shooting, it was Amir's job. He did a mix between four different locations, and every floor it's on a different locations. And when you see Annie's place, Annie's underground place, it's in 4 locations. The first one is in Jaffa, like in a hospital in Jaffa. The second, it's in another hospital in another place. The third is in a place in Tel Aviv, which is belong to the electricity company of Israel, and the other part of the tunnels belong to the army. So it's 4 location for one. It's one on the story. It's look like a one. Yeah. So
sometimes you see scenes that me and Shimrit, when we look at it and we understand it, you see a scene and in 10 seconds you see 4 locations, but for the viewer it seems as if Doron is looking in the same place. Every time he turns his looks, he's in a different city, you know, but only for me it feels weird. I guess, no, I think it works amazing, and this was really nice, and something that, you know, I like the show about everything, but this part of looking at those scenes which are really complicated and just fit in amazingly.
I mean, amazing experience. So one tricky question, I'm not sure if you guys how you can answer this. What changed when Netflix came in?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. Yeah, just, you know, it's make it, we feel like we're doing something big, like, but nothing's changed. Yeah, it's Netflix original, but nothing's changed. Not the budget, not the thing that we have to do. Like, it's Israeli production, which is after we finish to shoot, it's going to Netflix. But we didn't feel like we're doing something for Netflix.
All right.
We did it for Yes, which is the broadcast in Israel, and then Yes sold it to Netflix.
So I think let's go to hopefully the easier questions. Among the actors, who was the most difficult to handle or was most cranky?
Oh.
Or the easiest.
If it doesn't get you killed, right, you can share. Otherwise, okay.
No, I think all of the actors in Israel, on Fauda also dedicate for it. Like, so dedicate. Like, for actors to shoot in, for example, Doron Ben David, which is plays Steve, he shoot with with leather jacket in the middle of Kfar Kasem, which was 42 degrees. Wow. It was sweat under the jacket, and he said nothing, like, all the time. And I said, "Oh my God, it's so hot." I was with the short and everything, and I'm gonna die. And he was with the leather jacket, and he closed his mouth and did like he act. And also the Israeli actors in Israel, you have to understand, we don't have trailers, we don't have like special assistants and like that. They are part of the team. They're taking chairs with them. Like, they really dedicate, and they are really not spoiled. Like, very, very comfortable.
Idan Amedi, which plays Sagi, he used to come with his car, drive himself, and refuse for someone to take him home. He didn't want to be a burden. He didn't want to take taxes. So he was coming, and I think this is crew and actors and everybody doing their best, as we said before. It was really an amazing experience. And yeah, actors finish the scene, they walk out of the scene and they sit with one of the staff members. I mean, it's one family. It's not the crew members and the actors doing different stuff. It's everybody together.
And
Yeah, it's also part of the Israeli culture. Like everybody is my brother, come brother. Like so we don't have the distance between the crew and the cast. Like everybody is very walking together and eating together and feel like we're doing something big and we need to help each other.
Everybody in Israel calls each other achi, which means like bye, like brother, bye.
right. Correct.
Achi. Everybody is achi. I mean, everybody is your brother.
And for you guys, you've been in the industry for a while. How was it working with the director Rotem? What was your experience like?
I think that Rotem is very flexible, and they understand that it's doing something very big and also something that is very not connected to the budget and not connected to the resources that we have in Israel. So he's very, very flexible, and he's also thinking out of the box because he understands that we all need to open our mind to make it happen. Yeah. So it wasn't always easy, for sure. You know it. Director and producer, we always we have a crash, but it was so good to know that you have someone that's thinking with me and with everybody out of the box to find the solutions by himself and not just send me to find the solutions. Correct. So it was for me, it was a great experience.
Very helpful. Yes, that's very good.
I think Liat Ben Asuli, the head producer, she said in the last shooting day that Rotem, the director, is one of the only directors which is also very good and also nice. Right. So this is really true about this guy.
Fabulous. Good for you guys. As you mentioned earlier, Fauda is extremely popular in India. So when are you guys coming to India?
When Corona is over.
Sorry?
When the Corona is over, I really want to come
as soon as possible.
Yeah. In Israel, we really liked India. Like most of the people after the army or after the university coming to India because we really like it. The culture is very similar, and we feel in India like it. So as soon as possible.
Fabulous.
You are most.
Yes, I was traveling all over India for over a year and a half, doing from Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh all the way down to Tamil Nadu, with a few months in Goa on the way. Just last year, I came with my family for a month with the kids to Goa, and Meradir Hindustani.
Fabulous.
Fantastic, yeah.
Okay, I think my last question. You guys have what? You said 69 days, right? Of work.
Yeah. 69, and we had also 5 days of second unit.
Right.
So 74 of shooting days, but it was 69.
And one more day of small drone shots and pass by of cars, which we did a month or two after this.
Yeah.
So 75 and 3 months of pre-production, you're saying?
No, it was 3 months for Amir. I worked for 5 months for pre-production. Okay. And Muhammad, which is the one that we told him before, is start to scout 1 month or 1.5 months before me. So he worked for the pre-production for 6 months. 6, 7, yeah.
So all this effort, will you guys do it again for such a project?
Yeah. Yeah, at the end, I always say no, it's once in a life, and I did it twice, and then I say, no, I'm not going to do it again. But in the end, it's so big, and it's so it's something that we're proud. Yeah, to say that we did it. So I think that you can't not do it, even though it was hard all the time.
What about you, Amir?
I have to get permission from family,
Wife.
from wife and kids, because 3 months of struggling with this, and now with the coronavirus, we don't have the nanny and the granny to take care. So I don't know. Let's wait for season 4. And with what I hear from Avi and Leo, there's really big surprises, and I guess it's gonna be as amazing as the first 3.
Fabulous.
Wow.
I think that's amazing.
So we have something more to look forward to from your team of Fauda. So we really look forward. And guys, thank you so much for your time. It was really delightful for us to talk to you, to learn from your experiences. And we should definitely meet when you come to India. And
of course,
yes,
and you're invited here as well. Of course, doing the holy sites again and taking a sneak peek into Israeli production.
Yes.
We'll let you know when we're doing the 4th season, and then you can come and visit on set, and it will be great.
We love to do that. We've been wanting to visit Israel for a long time now, and now Fauda has just given us one more excuse, one more reason to come there.
Now you have 2 more excuses here.
Yes.
Welcome.
2 more excuses, yes. Lovely speaking to both of you. Thanks for taking the time.
And from our side, say hi to Avi, Leo, Rotem, everyone. Yeah. And tell them from India is super impressed with the entire product and the entire series.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wish to see you soon, guys.
Absolutely.
Right.